Hey there. We're just going over all the stuff that occurred at the RNC in the last couple of days, and specifically on the nomination of Mitt Magic fucking Underpants Romney and his little boy wonder Eddie Munster. And I decided to bring to you, because it's so over the rainbow, the various, 17 points of cheating that was involved. And I'm going to list them off to you right now. Got this information from Matt Larson 10, and it's compiled pretty well. Basically, it's this. Number one, they illegally removed duly elected Maine delegates and replaced them with Romney scab delegates. Okay, that's cheat number one. Cheat number two, stole delegates from Louisiana, Oklahoma, and Massachusetts because they would not vote for Romney. Number three, indefinitely detained Paul delegates on buses using armed guards to delay and prevent them from voting on rules in the convention. Is this not like beer hall putsch type shit or what? I mean, I'm reminded of newsreel clips of the early union strikes, and oh my God, is this really for real? But because of the little magic box called the television that everybody has their head up their ass with, you didn't get to see that, and you'll see why in the rest of these. Number four, indefinitely detained Morton Blackwell on a bus to prevent him from filing a minority report opposing new oppressive rule changes. Number five, they drove Virginia Rules Committee chairmen in circles around the convention center to prevent them from voting on rules, thus allowing the RNC to vote in their stead. I mean, this is such blatant corruption. Such blatant fucking corruption. I can't get over it. They refused to acknowledge nomination papers from 6 states where a 5-state minimum was required. Number seven, they changed the rules on the spot from 5-state minimum to an 8-state minimum when they realized Ron Paul would be nominated. Wow, just kind of changed the rules midstream. Well, we don't like what's happening here, so we're just going to change it to fit what the fuck we're doing here. Wow. And you know, all you sheeple out there just went, oh, okay, Mitt Romney, oh, you know, Jesus, criminally. Number eight, they denied Ron Paul a floor speech prior to vote unless he endorsed Mitt Romney. So basically, sell out your fucking principles or we don't let you be part of this process at all. I mean, the man has integrity. He doesn't agree with the policies that Romney stands for. Nobody really does. So what the hell is the problem? Were they afraid he might say something that would make people go, hey, wait the fuck a minute here, you know? They, number nine, declared unbound Paul supporters as bound votes for Romney. What the hell? You can't do that. Number 10, Boner ignored clear opposition in the rules voting that would prevent a Maine delegation from being seated. I mean, I heard that too. I mean, it was insane. If anything, they should have gone by a floor vote because, in my opinion, what I heard, and I watched it on C-SPAN, trying to be as unbiased as possible in seeing this, which of course we know was biased anyway. To me, it sounded like the nays had it, but it was really close, and it should have at least gone to the floor. For a vote, because this guy, he just in the opinion of the chair. Well, you know what? You know what they say about opinions. Everybody has one. Number 11, turned off microphones in Ron Paul delegation section to prevent division of point of order calls from being heard even after 10 minutes of booing and protest. Number 12, they seated Ron Paul delegates in the nosebleed section to prevent them from being heard behind the territory delegates. So the people of Guam have more voice and more importance at this thing than others because they drink the Kool-Aid. Okay, that's, I guess, the only thing I can figure from it. But as you can see, we've only gone into 12 of 17 known cheats. And you're already, I mean, I'm sick to my stomach of it. They passed rules allowing the RNC, this is number 13, they passed rules allowing the RNC committee to choose and approve delegates rather than the states. So just some oligarch type committee that doesn't represent anybody whatsoever except their own interests gets to make the rules now. So not only is our country out of our hands, our election process is completely out of our hands too. That's, I guess, trying to get us used to it, I would imagine. Number 14, they refused video equipment in the convention center to allow undocumented cheating. So in other words, you know, if nobody sees this, it didn't happen. This seems to be the a growing trend even amongst common people. Well, if you didn't see me, it didn't happen. You know, Jesus Christ, does nobody have a conscience anymore? Number 15, they cut off microphones anytime delegates cheered for Ron Paul. Number 16, they called out votes for Romney as Romney votes, but called out votes for Paul as others. Now, if anybody was watching it, they had this little box down there at the bottom of the screen, and there were actually 3 little boxes. Now, I only heard 3 people get any kind of delegate votes. That was, of course, Mitt Romney, Ron Paul, and Rick Santorum. Okay, so you got 3 little boxes down there, but they skipped the middle one. They put Romney over here. They bet the middle one blank, and then they put the one over here. If it wasn't for Paul, or it wasn't for Romney, it was others. I mean, this was blatant. This was so blatant. At number 17, finally, when Ron Paul won the majority of delegates from Iowa, Nevada, and Minnesota, they only called out the minority votes for Romney. I mean, I heard it was like 36 for Ron Paul, 4 for Mitt Romney, and that little bubble-headed blonde popped up there and went, 4 for Mitt Romney! You know, I mean, wow. You know, I was expecting the Kool-Aid thing to come blasting through the door or through the wall at any moment going, oh yeah! Because these morons that they had down there and this blinky-faced bitch that they had calling out the numbers, I mean, wow. I mean, you could have cut the feed of the audio and replaced it with one of those silly-ass TV evangelists, you know, and it wouldn't have changed. I mean, it looked the same. What I'm saying, man, is this outfit is really, really corrupt. And it seems to me that their whole strategy in this campaign has been that the end justifies the means. So regardless of how dirty and how filthy and how rotten that you run this campaign, as long as your results are what you wish, then no matter how you got there, that's okay. So what I'm asking people to really look at, if you're even got an inkling of voting for Romney, think about that, because he's going to take that end justifies the means position all the way to the White House if he gets there. But what I'm seeing is that a lot of the grassroots that were there, they got snubbed. And from what I hear across the internet and from friends, is that they will not vote for Romney. They will not. And so unfortunately, I believe that the RNC, the Republican Party, is going to die. It's committed suicide. So rest in peace and good riddance. I, for one, will never, ever, ever support another GOP candidate as long as I live. So I guess when it comes to the polls this time, I'm going to vote for Gary Johnson. I'd like to write in somebody, but they don't count write-in votes. So I know here in Virginia, Gary Johnson is for the Libertarian Party is on the ballot, and we've got enough signatures, so baby, that's where my vote's going. And if Obama goes ahead and wins because it's a split vote, oh well. At least I know what I got with that asshole in there. This Brill cream son of a bitch is so out of touch with the world too that no, don't want him. Not whatsoever. I hope you don't either.